raised their hand to say they had submitted their worksheet, but otherwise everybody's in the same boat we are. But we have to decide what we're gonna do, and we need to make that decision sooner than later. If we're gonna contract out, pay somebody to go around, Bob, what would it take for your guys?
Which Bob are you talking to?
Well, I'm talking to you, Cooch. I'm talking to Cooch.
Okay, Jesse, do you want to pull up that swordfish information?
Yeah, it's up.
I don't want to look at that, that's premature. We haven't decided what we're gonna do yet.
Okay, I mean,
That's a fancy device that will help.
Well, that's going to be part of our discussion, and that is, the one thing that I think that my takeaway from this meeting, Bob, was that the systems that were constructed after 1988 will still have to fill out forms, but they're not going to have to dig up the service lines on the customer side of the meter and or at their house. So they're off the hook, but that doesn't get us off the hook because a lot of us pre-1988 and they want to verify. So
We still have to fill out the
You
individual
still-
home
yes.
report that the homeowner does.
yes,
So,
Yeah, you still have to
for all of them.
we have to do a report. We just don't have to dig it up. So
Yep.
that's
Yep.
at least that got some common sense got through on that one. Anyway, so what DEQ has established what they call primacy for Idaho with EPA. In other words, EPA is regulating all states. They give primacy to DEQ as long as they kind of follow and they negotiate back and forth and follow EPA's mandate, then we're in better shape than being under EPA mandate.
But Idaho is the only state.
Only state that's doing
Only
that.
state that has primacy over this
Right.
program. All the other
Right.
states have been done by EPA.
Right, so what we need to figure out is we've got many that are prior to 1988, and if a customer can't tell us what their service line composition is, then we have to verify it, right, Bob?
Yes.
And so they verify by, unless they've changed it, Bob, by the backside of the meter and up as it enters the house, which
We didn't change it.
you didn't change it?
We're going through this right now. We're right in the throes of doing it with a whole bunch of systems.
Right.
Two people now in our office, not just one.
Right, so one of the issues, Bob, and maybe you're addressing this with the other systems too, when it comes to being, where we want to enter right the house, what if there's a nice gardening and landscaping there? This is on private property, and they will still want us to verify that.
But they don't have to, the homeowner does not have to allow us to dig it up.
Oh, okay.
We can just put that, we can put on the paperwork that it's not accessible.
It gets a code, yeah.
Okay, then would we have to dig it up on the back?
There's gonna be some follow-up on all of this. There's gonna
Correct.
be a bunch of unknowns on these reports.
Unknowns will have to be turned into knowns eventually.
But once we get all of this turned in, then next year we'll start addressing the unknowns.
Correct.
And this is, my best guess is this is gonna drag on for 3 or 4 years.
Oh,
So
big cities is gonna drag on
Oh,
for
for,
50 years.
yeah, I'm just talking
Chicago,
for us.
40 years, we're not
We
digging
do
up.
not need to be on the bleeding edge on this.
But regardless, we have to have it sent to them by October 16th.
Yes.
So what I'm.
Filled out with, 50% unknowns or 5% unknowns, doesn't matter.
Correct.
So I think the approach we're taking, Bob, would it be fair to say we're gonna ask the homeowners, and if they can't verify, we're gonna put unknown and then be dealing with and address it as we can?
Yes, we've started sending out the homeowners questionnaire to every homeowner, or every property owner.
Mhm.
So that's.
This is something you're doing
They
for
may
some
not-
other water districts.
Is this-
systems, right?
Yeah,
Is that the same,
20 different systems.
is that the same mailer that the IDEQ had? Okay,
In fact, I think I might have a copy of that with me.
because
Oh, yeah.
if we're gonna talk about voting on something, it would be to send the mailers out to all the
I don't have the
homeowners.
form with me that they fill out, but that's the guidance for the form.
And roughly 3-4 pages.
Well, the guidance is just 2 pages.
2
It
pages.
shows you how to identify it, what process to
Right.
identify it.
Right.
And we're gonna, I would suggest that we mail it out to every homeowner. Well, I don't know if we need to mail it to everyone. We know that there's certain homes that have been put in after a certain date. We don't need to send
Yes,
anything
we
to them.
do.
We still do to them.
Yes.
So we gotta
Everyone
send this
has
to
fill out.
everybody?
And you don't have to
I
mail
thought
it, you can email it, you can send it out with bills.
We'll have to mail it. We have good mailing system, we don't know everybody emails.
Yeah,
We can send it out with the user bills, in email and on the user bills. If Bob wants to generate what information we need to collect from them, send me over a letter template and I can send that out with the user bills.
And there are door hangers available also. You have trouble reaching people for one reason or another, Part of this package is
Well,
door hangers that you can put on.
That would be after they haven't responded to the mail, I would
Or
assume, or.
Yes, if for some reason you haven't heard back from them or can't get a hold of them, or
Right.
something, hang on. And there may not, if there's somebody living there, it's not gonna do any good. If you have a
Right.
renter living there, who
Right.
I
knows
suspect
they're
it's gonna
gonna
take a special mailing with a
Yep.
self-addressed, make it easy for people to
Right.
fill it out right then, put it in an envelope that's already been stamped, send it back to us, otherwise we're gonna get a terrible response rate.
Yep.
But on the back of the bill, we're
So it's gonna take
probably
some
gonna
stuff.
have to give a warning and let them know about this coming in the mail, or how do we get the public to know that, hey, this is gonna be coming to you and it's really important, we'd really like you to fill it out, we need it filled out as much as possible.
But there's other information, I talked about the door hanger, there's other information sheets that you can send along with it that are part of the DEQ package. Trouble is, DEQ, they're not real accessible right now, you have to go to a special place, you saw that on their
Right.
website. They're supposed to put it on their switchboard, but I looked today and it's still not there, so.
Yeah.
So really, we have to decide how to approach it, we can hire you guys, right?
I
Or-
wouldn't recommend that.
How
I'm saying
much
we
of, how much
could
of
do-
this is our customer going to understand?
This is pretty, yeah, this, it makes it pretty easy to understand. This little flyer that goes, you can send out with it, makes it real easy. And then
I didn't
the form
get
that we
that,
send
no.
out that they have to fill out, we can put a lot of information on that form before we send it to them. So they aren't sitting there writing down the address and their parcel number, all that stuff. We can put all that stuff on there before we send it to you to make it easier and say,
So you are willing to do this for us?
we put all of, I didn't mean we, I mean,
Jesse, if you could put up on the screen, I just sent you a form from those, just in the finish there, so they can see what it looks like. I took out the street addresses of the customers, but I just sent it to you, a Excel file, and you can put it up there so they can look at
we
it.
just mailed a stack today about that high. Envelopes. But I think Bob and Jesse can handle this without any trouble. Bob,
Just
Well, I was
under
gonna
the
suggest
inventory sheet.
I was gonna
Yes.
suggest we,
Yeah.
if you guys aren't willing to do it, then we, look for a summer engineering.
No, I guess we
something like
can, I
that.
don't make it any larger than.
I've already gone through and put in the physical address, the parcel number, the lot number, the
That's the
lot
hard
number, the
part.
subdivision.
Yeah, that's
I've
all
already
done.
done all those things.
No,
So there's,
she did it on, 2 forms, but that's
Yeah,
it's
all
nothing
under
to
into
move
one,
it into
but-
one.
well, you've got it all under control. We talked
Yeah.
about this before, and I was pretty sure that you had that part under control. So now
Yeah.
all we need is back of the customers.
Yeah.
Evaluation.
That's
And then
why this is on the
then
agenda.
one of us has to go out and, for the ones that don't respond.
Yeah.
How are we gonna do that?
Well, some of it we can get from the county website, like when the house was built and things like that. It's on your tax.
But we still won't know if it's lead service line. though.
Well, I think it was built in 2014, it's not a lead service line.
Right, but yeah, the 1980 prior is what we're looking for.
1980, yeah, anything prior to 1980.
Which is most
88.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Everything was plastic and even
doing two
75,
things.
76.
like having it go out in the user bills and also door hangers. I know you're saying, oh, you want it to standalone document, which I think door hangers can do during meter readings.
Mhm.
Double down on purposes there to save on time and resources,
Mhm.
but yeah, I can certainly send this letter out. I am gonna need some team effort, because sometimes it feels like a lot of it is just,
on you.
yeah.
And I've thought of even myself, I'm sure I could do 5 a day. But still, that would take, with 650 connections, that would take many
We
days
need to do that a different day than meter reading, because it's hard to get it done in a day, and your
So that's the.
door hanger may be in
Right.
front of the house and
That's
meters in the back.
mailed.
That's
Yeah.
the one that gets mailed out, that
Right.
the customer has to put.
And it's pretty, it's self-explanatory.
Well, it seems like we're spending a whole lot of time on worrying about the few people who may not respond versus the many who probably will.
Mhm.
And
I wanna
I
get
think it
started,
would
how do we
be-
get started?
I think it would be, there are lots of ways to get the word out. I know you guys all cringe at social media, but it works and it's effective. So there are many community pages that we can put a posting in that says this is important. Please pay attention to this. Fill it out when it comes. The stamp is on the water and sewer district's dime, so you're not paying for postage. And for those of you who don't respond, then will require additional staff time, hence our expenses go up if you can't respond. I mean, I think there are ways to
Yeah.
get people to respond, and I like to go into things assuming people are reasonably responsible and responsive.
Good luck.
And there's some people that won't let you anywhere near the house, and that's fine.
Well, I mean,
Some
Those are the
districts say, hey, if you're not
unknowns.
gonna tell us where your service line
Unknowns.
is,
Yeah.
it's on your expense to dig it up and figure it out.
right,
Yeah, if you, I mean, if you make it real clear, they can just check unknown if they don't know.
Yeah.
That's,
I should be surprised, a lot of people know what they have, I mean.
Yeah, a lot of people, I got up to read that to see what they were asking for, and, you know, most people don't realize whether their water comes to them through plastic, or whether it comes to them through copper tube, or, it's beyond their
Well, it's-
need to know when they,
what's,
As long as it comes on when they turn on the spigot, that's what they're.
So we're May, June, July, August, September, October.
so
Okay,
just,
that's
you better have it
5
done, you better
months.
have it done through by the end of September.
Yeah.
Yes, we got 4 months to have this complete. We gotta get,
And one thing that we
We gotta
found,
get
and
moving.
we're making it clear to everybody, that it's not the water system that's after all this information, that it's a federal mandate.
You
So,
You think
so
that's
they're-
gonna help?
Well, it'll
Deflect the blame.
hope to not get mad at us, hopefully it'll shift their anger to someone else.
Yeah.
it's,
that is a good
Flint,
plan.
Michigan.
Actually, that's Flint, Michigan written all over it,
Yes, it
Yeah,
does.
here you go.
which was a terrible situation.
Oh, yeah, what happened in Flint was what
control
started
has
this
gotten
whole
out of
thing.
hand.
It wasn't just Flint.
Do something about it,
Flint was
Ted.
the- One of it,
It's just
Just
totally
like,
gotten out of
yeah,
the
hand.
baby is just terrible.
Okay, well, for approaching this, we're going to mail and door knock, or door hangers. Send the mailers, see what we get back. We're gonna expect people, they gotta have it back by August,
Oh,
early August.
July, end of July.
Why can't we just
End of
put it out in
July.
the next billing cycle and put a stamped envelope in there along with the form that they need to do and
Yeah, the bills all come with a return address anyway.
And as you're going through
no
this,
extra
Jesse, as
expense
you're
with
going
that
through it,
initially.
if you just have some minor
Right,
questions,
the
just call Debbie in
stamps.
my office. She's
Is
been getting
effort-
bombarded with questions.
This is bombarded some more.
Yeah.
Are all districts going to
Yes.
have to go through this?
Yes,
Yes. Everybody in the entire United States has. to.
Yes.
Okay, what about the small district with about 20 people?
yes.
Yes.
Everybody,
Yes.
every PWS.
It's not going to get done, period.
Well,
And
Oh,
we can
but we
spend
have to
all
make
kinds
our
of.
Yes,
return.
yes,
It's just the mere facts,
we
Ted. We
can
know what
only
we still have
speak
to
for
do.
ourselves and have the face for Bayview. That's all we can do,
Well,
is
and the
our
list we
side of the
send
street.
in, but the list we send in October, maybe 50% of them.
True,
As far as
very
I know,
true.
that's actually okay.
Well, and
Just
as
means
a,
we have
as a
more work to
reminder, we've passed every lead copper test we take every 3 years forever.
True.
So we have not had any issues in there, but again, we're under mandate because of what happened in Flushing.
We have to, starting next year, we have to increase that to do twice a
20.
year for the next 2 years.
Yeah, and then I forgot about it, yes, instead of, we do 10, we're gonna go into 20.
Yep.
So-
Plus twice a year instead of once every 3 years.
Jesse, would you like me to get with Bob's gal? With the flyers, or?
I don't,
or-
I think you guys are okay right now. I think, just wait and see if the question comes up. I think it's pretty,
I mean, just
unless you,
wait for questions.
I think it's,
The mailer I have, because I have the web address
Uh-huh.
that IDEQ gave us, so I just have to get the mailer to Jesse, and then
Yeah.
we're gonna send it out and tell people, please fill it out.
yeah.
And the mailer has a little
Could you
questionnaire
copy me
on
on
it.
that, Sean?
Yeah.
Could you copy on what we said, so I'm kept in the loop on
Yeah,
that?
I will, when I get home, I'll
Okay.
pile this all together, either get it sent out tonight or tomorrow morning.
That's a questionnaire we mail out.
And what is the government gonna do with it?
Same thing.
Do they have personnel to look at it? You know what I'm saying?
You know that
Yeah.
big file room
It's-
they have?
Yes.
Government run amok.
That's a different issue.
Yeah.
We have no
That's pretty
authority to
straightforward.
control or.
Wait till Trump gets in.
Yeah, you didn't go away.